Today on Public Eye News, Henry Ford and Ascension Hospitals are planning a merger in Metro Detroit, and later, Joran Vandersloot has confessed to the murder of Natalie Holloway.
Melissa Santor will have your sports update, and Bradley Seaborg will have your weather forecast. I'm Austin Graham.
And I'm Marin Parks, and this is Public Eye News. Down in Wisconsin, political tensions are running high after a Republican-sponsored bill was passed through the Senate on Tuesday. The bill, which passed through Assembly just last week, would ban gender-affirming care, including, among other things, gender-affirming surgery, prescription of puberty blockers, as well as estrogen and testosterone hormone treatments. The bill was voted against unanimously by Democrats in both the Assembly and Senate, who argue that a ban on gender-affirming care would add to the mental health challenges already facing transgender youth in the state, but were outvoted by Republicans who claim the bill is to protect youth from what they consider to be invasive procedures. However, the bill is unlikely to be passed into law, as Wisconsin Democratic Governor Tony Evers vowed to veto the bill should it reach his desk at a debate in Madison earlier this month. And in more Wisconsin news, Governor Tony Evers announced yesterday that the Wisconsin Department of Health Services will be receiving almost $17 million in federal funding to improve the 988 Wisconsin Lifeline after declaring 2023 the Year of Mental Health in Wisconsin. Funding will come in the form of 2 grants, the first of which comes from the Congressional Spending Project at $3.1 million, and the second coming over the course of 3 years from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Improvement Project, which will provide $4.6 million annually for a total of $13.8 million. The funding will be used to increase the size and quality of the 988 workforce, strengthen connections between 988 and local care and support such as 911 centers and county mental health programs, and raise awareness of the service through statewide advertising and direct outreach campaigns.
Yesterday in Detroit, 2 Michigan health systems announced plans to merge in the Detroit metropolitan area and in central parts of the state. According to a news release from both systems, Henry Ford Health and Ascension Michigan have entered into a joint venture to combine some of their facilities. The Detroit News reported that this merger will give both systems over 40% of the Metro Detroit hospital market by revenue. This combination is also expected to employ 50,000 people across more than 500 care sites. The 2 hospital systems are in the process of submitting their agreement to state and federal agencies and are expecting the transaction to close next summer. And an assistant professor at Northern Michigan University is highlighting cybersecurity threats to the U.S. water sector. Zhongyong Yu, an assistant professor at NMU, has said that water and waste operators often rely on outdated industrial control systems. In turn, this often leaves operators more vulnerable to cybersecurity threats and puts the U.S. water sector at risk. The cyber threat landscape is evolving, Dr. Yu said. However, we must recognize our society's collective capacity to govern, identify, protect, detect, and respond to cyber threats. Dr. Yu was selected to speak at the UP Cybersecurity Symposium earlier this year. And the Ice Age Trail in Wisconsin is getting some much-needed help from volunteers committed to making nature accessible to everyone. Kyle Pozorski has more.
Not safe at all.
That's how Chad Duchateau describes the current route hikers need to take to go from one section of the Ice Age Trail to another.
We have a road walk right now on Old Sauk Pass, so this will avoid that.
More than 100 volunteers have signed up to clear the way through a section of natural beauty which has historically been passed by.
It has been owned by the National Park Service for a couple of decades now, and this is actually the first trail project on this property.
On Wednesday, passionate volunteers who help out multiple times per year, as well as others who are not as involved,
maybe a little project here and there,
came out for the last trail building project of the year. Gary Wensing of Cross Plains says helping out is a way to pay his way forward so others can enjoy the trail just as he has.
It's always a different perspective every time you're out, and different plants, or even you do out and back hike, you see one thing going one way and you totally missed that, and you see something on the way back that you totally didn't see, and that's really fun that way.
And through partnerships with the Wisconsin DNR, National Park Service, and Ice Age Trail Alliance, the project shows just how important bringing people closer to nature is.
We are within a metropolitan area of 800,000 people that have, within a half an hour's drive, have access to this place. So there's a green space and place for people to recreate, and we're adding more trail to that.
And And stick around because we will be back with your weather and national news after this break.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. On this awesome episode of UTR, we're back in Battle Creek for a cool cafe with a conscience, a farm market with markedly more, and a place where you can land a great meal. Literally. Heck, we'll even show you a place where kids laugh and learn all at the same time. This isn't under the radar. You just gotta see.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Bradley Seaborg, and I'll be taking you through our Public Eye weather update. Starting off with a look at our roof cam here on campus. A little bit of mixed showers throughout the day as we settle into this fall weather. Taking a look around the UP, we've got temperatures in the 50s as that low pressure system moves in over the west end. Starting off in Houghton, we've got cloudy and 50, 51 and rainy in Ironwood, 57 a little bit warmer in Iron Mountain, still with some rain. No rain in Menominee at 55 with some clouds. 54 in Escanaba, still cloudy, and 55 in Manistee. Over on the east end in the Sioux, 54 with some rain, and back in Marquette, it is 55 and rainy. Taking a look at our current conditions, we've got the winds out of the southwest at 3 miles an hour and the barometric pressure of 29.6 inches and falling. Looking ahead to tonight, more rain and a low of 38, winds out of the north-northwest at 15 miles an hour. Looking at tomorrow, partly sunny, a little bit of sunshine, a little break from the rain, high of 51, low of 41, and winds out of the north-northwest at 12 miles an hour. Looking forward to our weekend, more cooler temperatures on the way. Saturday, high of 45, low of 40 with some rain. Sunday, a nice quick break from the rain, high of 47, but a low of 39 at night though. And on Monday, a high of 56 and a low of 47 with some more showers. That's all I've got for weather. Back to the news desk for our national news.
Thank you so much for that weather update. It is certainly shaping up to be a proper UP October.
Agreed.
And now in some national news, in Birmingham, Alabama, Beth and Dave Holloway's 18-year-long search for answers as to what happened to their daughter Natalie came to an end as Joran Vandersloot pleaded guilty to federal charges of extortion of Beth Holloway in exchange for information yesterday. As part of the plea agreement between Vandersloot and the Holloway family, Vandersloot was required to, quote, provide all information and evidence about what happened to Natalie on the day that she died. Under questioning from his own attorney, Vandersloot recalled details of May 30th, 2005, wherein he bludgeoned Natalie to death before dragging her body into the ocean after she kneed him between the legs for refusing to stop his sexual advances. Natalie's mother, Beth, described the experience of listening to the story of her daughter's death, saying, quote, this is the moment where I've been searching for 18 years. Even as hard as it is to hear, it's still not as torturous as not knowing. It was time for me to know, end quote. And yesterday in Washington, the Biden administration announced that it will be allocating $3.5 billion towards 58 projects focused on strengthening electric grid resilience across the country following the Maui and California wildfires. According to Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm, this is the largest ever federal investment in grid infrastructure, and when combined with the money promised by private partners, it could result in up to $8 billion in total investments. Projects receiving funding include rural Georgia and Louisiana grids, which will receive $249 million each, the Warm Springs Reservation in Oregon, which will get $250 million, and $464 million going to transmission projects across the Midwestern states from Iowa to Dakota, $95 million to Hawaii, $150 million to Pacificorp to mitigate wildfire risk in California, Utah, Oregon, and other states. And here at home in Michigan, Consumers Energy will receive $100 million to strengthen equipment in outage-prone areas such as Flint and Grand Rapids. And with the Speaker of the House seat open, Representative Jim Jordan is still determined despite two previous failed votes. Some favor the current Speaker pro tem to take charge. Correspondent Chanel Call has more. Take a look.
By surname, a speaker has not been elected.
Jim Jordan's bid for House Speaker faced a second defeat Wednesday.
The Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 199.
The Ohio congressman lost GOP support since the first vote, despite spending Wednesday morning lobbying defectors.
I think we're a mess.
But Jordan plans to try again in a third vote today.
I already proven I can get from the most conservative members of the conference to the more moderate members of the conference. So got a whole cross-section of the conference. It's important that we get the last few.
The showdown on the House floor revealing deep rifts in the Republican conference, with a growing group, including Jordan's fellow Ohio Congressman David Joyce, now calling for the Speaker pro tem Patrick McHenry to be made temporary Speaker, a move Jordan holds firmly against.
I don't think that's the right way to go. I think we should get a Republican Speaker.
The push for McHenry would need Democratic support, a deal Jordan says isn't on the table for now. Chanel Call, CBS News.
And after this break, Melissa will be back with your sports update. Stay tuned.
I'm Les Stroud. Come with me on a journey to learn new survival skills from the few remaining indigenous tribes around the world. With never-before-seen footage of tribal rituals and ceremonies that help us discover how these cultures have persevered for thousands of years living close to the earth. Once you have secured the survival of your body, you must ensure the survival of your mind and spirit. Join me and go beyond survival.
Tonight at 10:30.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa Santour here with your sports update. Starting with our Northern Michigan University hockey team, the Wildcats are about to begin their last away trip before coming back to the Barry Events Center. They will face off against the number 18-19 ranked Arizona State Sun Devils. The Wildcats enter the weekend with a 0-1-1 record and are getting recognition in both the USCHO and USA Hockey College hockey polls. On the other hand, the Sun Devils go into the weekend with a perfect 2-0 record and are nationally ranked for the first time since 2020. Good luck, Cats. Moving over to the NHL, the Detroit Red Wings beat the Pittsburgh Penguins with a final score of 6-3 on Wednesday night. Andrew Kopp and Alex DeBrincat scored 2 goals each, while Ville Husso made 30 saves. Kopp's goals came during a second-period surge, pushing Detroit to a 4-1 advantage. However, Pittsburgh managed to close the gap to just 1 goal in the middle of the third period. Kopp secured the win with an empty net goal, scoring with 1 minute and 32 seconds remaining. DeBrincat took advantage of the Penguins pulling their goalie to add an extra skater, swiftly re-establishing the Red Wings' 3-goal lead just 21 seconds later. And former UFC champion Conor McGregor will not be facing sexual assault charges following an investigation due to allegations made during the NBA Finals last June in Miami. The investigation focused on claims from a woman who said McGregor assaulted her in an arena bathroom after a game between the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. After a comprehensive inquiry that included video reviews and witness interviews, authorities concluded that there was no case to pursue against McGregor, as confirmed by his attorney Barbara Lanes in the state attorney's office. That's all I have for your sports updates. Back to the desk.
Thank you so much for that update, Melissa. How are you feeling about the start of NMU's season? Are you looking forward to them coming back home to the Barry?
I am looking forward to them coming back home to the Barry. I'm really excited for hockey season to get started. We saw that great story with the Red Wings beating the Penguins last night. We're going into a few extra stories here. So NMU Theater and Dance will have its closing performances of Monty Python's Spamalot. The show is based on the film Monty Python and the Holy Grail and tells the story of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. The show also features many large dance numbers and catchy tunes. The final dates for each show are tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. at the Forrest Roberts Theater on the campus of NMU. And the entertainment world is grieving this week after the death of actor Burt Young. He was widely known for his role as Paulie in each of the 6 Rocky films. Young passed away in Los Angeles last week, and no cause of death was given. Young was an Oscar-nominated actor and worked on various films up until his death. So I have to ask, Maren, are you familiar with the show Spamalot?
I am. I love Monty Python. I like that movie quite a bit, and I have a lot of friends in the theater and dance department, so I've heard a lot about the production of the show, how things have been going. Everyone in the cast, crew, lighting, everything has been working really hard. This show has been a lot of work in the making.
Have you had a chance to see it yet, too?
I have not yet. I'm looking forward to getting an opportunity to see it, but that is all the time we have for today. My name is Maren Parks.
And I'm Austin Graham. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.
Thanks for watching Public Eye News. You can subscribe to our YouTube, tune in to WNMU Channel 13 every weekday at 4, or follow our Instagram at NMU Penn to never miss a story.